community quarantine, I felt it was high time to put the knowledge I have on an even more accessible platform, especially for my more tech savvy followers. And since this lockdown started, I've had a number of people telling me that they're struggling being stuck with their partners and or their children, and the children feeling stuck with their parents as well. So this FB live event, I hope, can just be the first of many in allowing you to ask me your burning questions about love, dating, marriage, getting married, pre-marriage, relationships, kids, uh, exes, ex-partner, especially in a time when it can be challenging for most to navigate on their own. What activities to give their children um, now that they are in quarantine? Uh, then to be able to, how, many parents are not used to having their children around them for 24 hours. So, as I mentioned this morning in the program of Cito Beltran, it's good to sit down with your children and let them know, especially if you have children who are, below 12 years old, 12 years old and below. You want to sit down with them, maybe by twos or one by one, and ask them, look, this is like a long vacation. And, uh, and it's different from other vacations we have because we are confined to the house because of the medical situation, yeah, because of the virus. And therefore, let's have fun here inside the house. You can give them, colored pieces of paper to make it a little more exciting, some post-it notes, and let them write down 3 to 5 things that they want to do or they've always wanted to do. Um, Tell them if it's preferably if they are activities that can be done indoors or in the confines of the house, maybe up to your garden if you have a garden or a driveway. But anyway, just let them write down all their preferences. And I tell the parents, try not to impose. Ask them first and let them know and find out what they like. Each child would have their intelligence. There are about 7 kinds of intelligences. Let me see my book here that I have the. So this is the book that I've co-authored with Queen Ali Chua, helping our children do well in school, and to help me about the intelligences. So some parents will say, okay, all of you board games, or all of you will go jogging in place, or will run around the house. But if your child is not sporty, your child might not like to do the running around. Your child might be a little more on the linguistic side, maybe would like to read. And therefore, we have to match the activities with the interest and the passion of the child. Okay, so we have, just like my eldest, he's a kinesthetic, so more sporty, something outdoor, something that allows a lot of movement. And my second son is an artistic one, so singing would be interesting. Watching movies, he'd love that. And our daughter Jika, she's a good combination. So she'd like now she's into dancing, and she can do the yoga. And all of us love the movie watching. So there are activities that will be common to all family members, but there are activities that are unique to each one. And um, the parents say, but they're mostly with their gadgets. Then I say, that's why let's make a schedule. I'd write it down, their schedule from the time they wake up to the time they sleep. It would be interesting. Um, Let me see if I have that picture still of the schedule here. Um, because it's best if it's written down, maybe on Manila paper or cartolina, uh, and make it colorful and let them, make it like some sort of artwork for those who really are artistic. It will really come out. Um So the idea here is what's the schedule like from the time they wake up. So if they wake up at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m., what did you agree on? So wake up time, then you say breakfast, and then will you want to introduce some household chores to them? So a household chore, let's go back to that household chore later on. Then maybe you can say afterwards, okay, you can read a book, and then time for maybe 30 minutes on gadgets. Maybe they'll play a game. And if their game is interactive, they can play maybe with another friend uh, with their gadgets. So there's some social interaction as well. Or if via Zoom, they're going to play a game with a cousin, who's in another household, and they can play maybe the board game together or card game via Zoom or Skype or StreamYard, whatever you'd like to. So there's some personal interaction with other people. So we continue the socializing aspect there. And so what? It will be lunchtime, and after lunch, oh, these kids usually don't take a nap. Please don't force them to take a nap. Maybe you, mom or dad, you'll want to take a nap. Uh, I did that before. I'd say, okay, you guys, I will take a nap. If you don't want to take a nap, just keep quiet. Otherwise, stay stay in your room or stay outside. Um, so the afternoon, you want to plan that out. Again, if there's maybe 30 minutes of schoolwork or an hour of schoolwork, can be by installment. And then you have time for, again, household chore, maybe to prepare for dinner, or maybe learn how to cook or learn how to bake. Maybe we'll have dancing, or maybe we will set up a tent in the garden and, have some fun there. When we were younger, our tent was inside the house. We didn't have the real tent, but we used the blanket. And the blanket, would connect it from one corner of the room to the other corner. And so you have the cover. And we all play inside the tent, and we play our games inside the tent. We played Monopoly, I know, a lot then. So, um, yeah, there are many fun ways of going about things. And we have to sit down with our kids. I saw a while ago, if you go online, you Google, parents will Google, or even the children Google, there's a lot of information online about various kinds of activities. There's craft work, and then there is also learning. Some kids, if they know already by 12, you have a small sewing machine, then they can make the face mask and can help them contribute the face mask to our, whether it's the frontliners or even regular people, no? They will need a face mask as well. Should I be on dating apps? Why not? This is a good time to source your dates. Anyway, we cannot go out. Uh, yeah, I tried to swipe to the left and swipe to the right. So take a look at these candidates, get to talk to them. You'll not be able to meet them until maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks or 4 weeks. But this is a test of talking. Can you carry a conversation? And if you can carry a conversation long enough, there's a possibility that you have common interests, common likes, which is one key factor in a successful relationship, the compatibility through the topics of conversation. Do you like to talk about maybe traveling? Do you like to talk about sports? Or do you want to talk about politics or medicine? So, whatever your interest is, you want to talk about this with the person you meet online. And I'm sure if your interest is not the interest of the other person, maybe after about maybe even 30 minutes or the second time you will chat, um, you will know that they're not much maybe that common between the two of you. Then you move on to the next candidate. All right. So, so the dating now, using the dating apps, is used to meet people, chat with them, talk to them. All right. That will be a good way. And after this quarantine, then you want to meet up, then meet up with each other. this one will be like the principle of you are on a really the long distance relationship, wherein work out a schedule that you will meet up online. Um, some I know they have, if the time zone is you're in a similar time zone or it's relatively easy, some would even have like lunch together or dinner together, after dinner drinks, and then they play some games or they continue the chat. The important one here is there's connection. And what do you chat about? Even just saying, what are you feeling about this quarantine period? How has it affected you positively? And how has it affected you negatively? And, you chat with each other as often as you wish to, if it's once a day or twice a day, or you can even email. Writing is a good way of getting to know really the other person or deepening the relationship with each other. And then, to create excitement, you can plan about things that maybe you can do when this quarantine is all over. The number of cases wherein they have a hard time dealing with their spouse because this quarantine, if there is a problem or your marriage is, I call it sick. Worst, if your marriage has been in ICU, ICU, the intensive care unit, just like many coronavirus patients are go to the ICU, then this quarantine is can generally make it worse or make it very difficult for you. And what can you do in the meantime? Give space to each other. If one's in the living room, the other one is in the kitchen or in the bedroom. So I guess you just agree which room you will take for the meantime and give yourselves space. Uh, okay. I post on Instagram stories and Facebook stories. I guess that is his own stories every 3 hours. Do I still need to update my girlfriend? Wow, every 3 hours update is already good. But I know of cases where the girlfriend would like an update every 15 or 20 minutes. Is that good? No. In one of our videos this week, that I answered a similar question. And if a boyfriend or girlfriend, even husband or wife, there's that need of checking up each other every few minutes, there might be some problems there about the self, maybe problems about trust issues you've had with your father, mother, some family members, that you have difficulty trusting also your boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse. And therefore, what's needed there would be a session with our Dan Caballes, who will help you find out more about your influence of your family of origin. You want to find out how come there's a need to update? How come you have difficulty seemingly to trust your partner? Or you have this impression that your partner might cheat on you. If we had this kind of stance with our significant other, it can be an annoying behavior, very annoying. I have a number of cases wherein, oh, Maribel, since they've been expecting me to to be maybe talking to somebody or to have an affair, and I didn't want to have an affair. I don't have any affair, but I got fed up. So I just went out, looked for somebody that I could have an affair with, you know, because they got sick and tired of you. Is that the right thing? No. But go come and give us a call, and we'll have to sit down and find out more about each other's background. And see, this is where these past weeks, even if we're the quarantine, my team and I have been busy. We've been preparing couples for marriage, and this is a good time to talk more about the issues preparing for marriage, precisely as a preventive stance to educate yourselves to be able to enjoy each other more. It's a lot easier. Dress up for dinner, like for tonight. Agree to dress up as if you're going to, go to a formal event, or maybe a more casual event, but you'll dress up. You're not wearing house clothes only. Um, have dinner together, or after dinner, bring out the wine if you have wine. If you don't have wine, then pretend that your water is wine. And just sit down over peanuts or whatever food you have there and just chat. Dim the lights, play some jazz music. There's a lot online music that you can use to give it a background, and just like the good old times, to be able to enjoy each other company. Because for couples, my husband and I, my dear sweetie Alan, you see his picture there behind. Well, uh, there's our picture. That was many years ago. Anyway, our secret of the 36 years of marriage is our weekly Wednesday dates. So I really encourage couples to have that weekly date for that connection, and it's one of the ingredients to keep the marriage sparkling. Okay, what's these liabilities? I'll put the context. We usually say, so this is for the dating. Okay, this is the dating book. I've been dating now, what, that my dear friend Mike Assis and I put together. Love has three stages. There are three stages of love. For those who've been in love, maybe you've realized that the first 6 months to 1 year of your relationship, this person is perfect for you. And sometimes you ask the question, in one of our books, where have you been hiding? How come I just met you just now that I am 40 years old? Where have you been? And there's so much in common between the two of us. Well, the first year, things usually naturally fall in place. Good place. Feeling great for each other. You have the assets in the first year that you feel that you're perfect for each other. But whatever goes up will go down. So wait for the second year, and oftentimes the liabilities will come out, or the flaws of the person, the weaknesses. We're not perfect, so we have weaknesses. And why does it take 2 years? Well, of course, we want to put our best foot forward. It's a cycle. We want to attract the other person, and therefore we take extra effort to win the other person. But I guess, as human as we are, after 1 year, we kind of relax, or especially when we've received, or we got the yes of this person to be our boyfriend or girlfriend, then we kind of relax, and the flaws will come out. And what's the third year for? The third year, so the first year is romantic stage. It's the second year is the disillusionment stage, where you see all the flaws, and it's a deciding factor whether you continue to the third level. But before you can move to the third level of true love, you'll have to make that decision of, can I take his flaws? And are there more assets than weaknesses? Are our dreams, our values, are they in sync? Okay? Especially your core values. Are we in the same direction? And so it's the nature of people that best foot forward. So second year, the liabilities come out. All of us have certain dreams and aspirations, certain things we want to see happen in our lifetime. And we have to be clear about what is it that I am not willing to give up. That's your non-negotiable. Like, I had this thing of, I did not want to live in any province. I just want to live in Quezon City. Or I have another friend, my non-negotiable is I have to travel every year. Not just in the Philippines, it has to be outside of the Philippines. Why? Because this has been the practice in their family and she wants to continue that. So I told her, well, you'll have to look for somebody who's interested in that and can financially support you there. Good for her. She found somebody. All right. So that's why we say it's important you have to know yourself, because some people say, no, whatever he wants or whatever she wants, I will go with him or I'll go with her. That's why marrying age is good to be about 25 and above. That's about the time when we become clearer about our what we like, what we don't like, and in a relationship, some say they keep saying, "Oh, it depends on what you like. Kung anong gusto mo, yun na lang." But after some time, the growth of a relationship is much more if we contribute something new to our partners, and there's something that we are passionate about and important, and we meet a partner who can support that if not involved in whatever we're passionate about. Okay, so can you change your non-negotiables? Of course you can. I have the non-negotiable of he should be older than me, and Alan is a year younger than me. But after my research, I said it's okay to marry somebody younger as long as he is mature. So, but one non-negotiable that I encourage all of you to have in your list is emotional maturity. There's also fidelity. Will be loyal, um, and then of course your the core values that are important there. Well, there are generally more men than women who cheat. But maybe the question there is, why do people cheat or why do men cheat? A number of times it's there are needs that are not being met by the relationship. And so instead of talking about it with their partner, hey, I need you to spend more time with me, or I want us to have our weekly date. But the other one keeps saying, no, no, I'm busy at work and all that. I'm making money so for we can travel. So when the needs, one reason why people cheat is when the needs are not met, especially if the needs were articulated to the partner. Um, there are times when the needs are not met and have never been articulated to the partner. So please, please let your partners know. Maybe those listening want to write down your top 5 needs now and give it to your partner. Not that you're demanding, but FYI, these are my needs. Let's talk about when it can be you can meet my needs, or maybe I'll have to look for certain ways how to have my needs met. Because many times in the cheating, many of the men say, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." So again, communication is inadequate. Of course, cheating also comes when you are in. There's some work environment that are prone to cheating because there are a lot of women. Well, I used to work in San Miguel before. I worked with a beer company. Oh my gosh! So uh, opportunities to meet ladies was higher when our salespeople would go on their sales call. You know. Uh, but anyway, so cheating can be avoided if we continually talk. We continually have our marriage maintenance every year, every month, the wedding anniversary month. Please go have your marriage checkup or attend a seminar that will strengthen, enhance your relationship. As I say, our cars go for checkup every 6 months. We need our checkup if we want to be in top shape and happy. Happiness will not come naturally. We have to plan it out. Okay, this thing about in-laws. For one, I would say try not to live with your parents or in-laws so that you have your privacy and you can get towards melding and cementing your relationship as soon as possible. Because the problem with their in-laws or parents, the influence of the family of origin of that family where you're staying becomes stronger, and therefore the couple um, relationship um, It's not on an even kill, because there's more influence from the other side. Um, the sons, well, some say, well, at least the parents can monitor. Well, yes and no. It's always people will find a way if they're not happy to get themselves into trouble. The key there is how to work on your relationship, so that it stays really a happy one and usually meeting each other's needs. So here, living with in-laws, I will discourage that. Really discourage. Spending for rent is a very good investment to keep that marriage healthy and intact. Because even if your own parents, you might get into conflicts, you might fight, and so it'll be difficult. One is know your strengths and capitalize on your strengths. Stop looking at your flaws and weaknesses. Cover them up. In terms of physical or and learn to accept them. Because we have assets, we have beautiful parts of our body or our personality, and emphasize on that to be able to attract a person. And then how to deal with venting out feelings, especially for girls. Um, well, girls, vent out among your girlfriends first. The guys, if we have to vent out, we have to use the iMessage formula, which we can talk about next time. It's basically, I feel I'm so upset when you arrive past midnight and I was not informed about it. So saying it, expressing it positively is all right, but the venting here or accusing and blaming and putting down, no, no, you're going to lose your guy there. Should you just keep quiet? I suggest not, but you have to express it in a positive manner using the iMessage. You can take a look at some on YouTube. Harville Hendricks has the Imago dialogue. There are videos there, so watch that, and you can learn about the dialogue process, dialogue technique. I'd like to wrap up with this comment here that Cherry posted, because basically with our quarantine times, positive, she says, positive communication is very essential. Positive, not negative, okay? We can always get our message across in a constructive way. There is always a better and positive way to express our feelings and frustrations. Yes, it's all right to express our feelings and frustrations, but in a positive manner. Because the negative manner of shaming, blaming, and put downs are just going to drive your partner away. So, uh, with that, thank you so much for joining us. We will let you know about our next Facebook Live, and we will be bringing in our other members of our team. Everybody wants to be happy in a relationship, to be happy in a family, but unfortunately, we don't really have lessons in school, in college, or to learn more about this. And therefore, we are here to be able to help you educate and watch out for our school for parents. And we have also our workshops and seminars for couples think of getting married and also for those who are married in order to stay happily married.